here at Toy Fair 2015 in the NECA booth with our old friend Randy. So Randy, I know you've got a lot of exciting stuff. You've been teasing us, like with Monkey Mondays and stuff like that. Your online presence is just like a cruel mistress. But now we get to see the finished product. So let's talk about what's new.
Yes, well, being Valentine's and all, it's time I actually put out and stop with the teasing. So here we are at Toy Fair 2015. And yeah, we've got a lot of great stuff here that we have debuted or shown off here for the first time. From the Alien line, we have the Ripley figures. We have 2 from the 79 film, and we have Ripley from the 86 Cameron movie. There's a power loader coming this summer that you can put Ripley in to fight the Queen that we put out for Christmas of last year. We've got Bishop here, torn in half. It comes with an alien egg and a face hugger. We've got a new quarter scale 79 Alien that's almost 2 feet tall, 22.5 inches, fully articulated. We have our video game version of the dog Alien from Alien 3. Working on some other stuff right now for later in the year. Also going back to AVP. We have AVP Predators coming out this year, so we're going to do new versions of the AVP Aliens to go along with those. Okay. And Predators still going very strong. We have Series 13 here, which is another Kenner assortment, homage to the old Kenner designs of the early 90s.
You do nothing but just punch me in the nostalgia bone, like on a daily basis.
Well, that's what I'm all about, man. Nostalgia's, I get all weepy. that's my thing. So we do the modern stuff too, but if it's from the 80s, that's when I'm happiest. So whether it's the comics, the video games, the movies, and the music, it doesn't get any better than the 80s. So yeah, we have our Kenner Predators, and then we're working on Kenner Aliens even for next year. So those won't be till 2016. We got to get a little further down the road, but we're definitely doing that as well. So
you're saying I can own an updated Mantis Alien?
Oh yeah, that's definitely on it. Or a Bull, possibly Gorilla Alien, Scorpion. Yeah, they're all on the design sheet. Some of our sculptors have already been doing some preliminary work, and we've been looking at what shared parts we have and what new sculpted parts we need to make some of them. But the Mantis is definitely on the short list to get done first. So,
how about the King Alien?
That one will probably be a little bit later, but we have something else from that Kenner universe that's not a figure that we're going to try to do something with later this year, which is really cool. But hopefully we'll have something for you for Comic-Con for that one. So definitely some more surprises. Right now, Toy Fair is awesome, but it's only 6 months of our year.
Right.
We're basically only going up to June, maybe the beginning of July here. But by San Diego time, you got the whole rest of the year to show off. So it's like we do this all over again in 6 months.
That seems like too much stuff at that point. My wallet is weeping.
Yeah, we try to space it out as best we can, and of course keep our stuff as affordable as we can. But yeah, I mean, there's no end in sight. There's just so much great stuff. We have so many great licenses, whether it's Alien, Predator, Pacific Rim, Planet of the Apes. There's a lot of stuff that we can keep going with, and the fans, as long as they support it and want it, we'll keep making it.
Absolutely. So I noticed there's also a giant Christopher Reeve over there.
Yeah, quarter scale DC, which is something we've been doing for a couple years. We had Keaton Batman and Adam West Batman, Man of Steel Superman, Arkham Origins Batman.
Penguin.
That's right. We got DeVito Penguin here. We've got Arkham Knight Batman, and we have Chris Reeve Superman, which to most people is Superman. So that hits in May, and really happy with the way it turned out. Fully articulated, fabric cape, 2 sets of hands for flying, and fists, which are real cool. The Penguin is just a thing of beauty. Incredible tailored coat that's removable, articulated little pajama body underneath, sick likeness to Danny DeVito, removable top hat, little synthetic hair. It's sick, just sick. An umbrella too as an accessory. So real happy with that one. We're doing some more quarter scale Marvel. Can't show them just yet, but from Avengers 2, Mark 43 Iron Man, and a 2 foot tall Incredible Hulk. So you talk about a weeping wallet. That one's going to put a dent, but it's well worth it, because if you got our Thor, or you got our Iron Man, or you got a Cap, you need a Hulk to scale. It's 2 feet.
Like, that's how you get us. Oh yeah, we're just gonna do Thor and Iron Man, but if you got those,
you gotta have Hulk. I mean, that's the one I've wanted. I wanted to do that one for 2 years. We finally gotten around to it, and it's really sweet. So we're gonna show the Iron Man probably sometime in March once all the approvals are final, and they wanted it, we have an unpainted model. They didn't want us to bring it here not painted, so once the painted model's approved, we'll be showing that to the fans and everything, and then probably we'll show the Hulk the month after. Okay. So those are cool. Avengers 2 coming out in May, which is going to be, huge. Probably the biggest movie of the year until Star Wars comes and, destroys everything. Hopefully. JJ, please, please make it good again. So I digress. So back to Planet of the Apes. Yes. We're doing more classic. We've got Series 3 on display in the diorama and some prototypes behind us for Series 4 and 5. We've got a Halo motorcycle helmet. This is DOT certified. You're going to be street legal. Go out there with this thing. It's UV coated. It's scratch resistant. It's got all the foam padding. First time I've ever made a motorcycle helmet. It's a real learning curve. Action figures is more my forte, but right. It's really cool. And if you don't want to ride a bike and you just want to, wear it for cosplay, you can do that too.
That's pretty remarkable. That's a crazy, like you can absolutely see people just driving around with those on their heads. Yeah, it's like the nerd version of Sons of Anarchy, I guess you'd call it. But it's cool, it was fun to do. Working with 343 has been great. We did a Master Chief figure with them. We've got that, and we're working on some weapon replicas for later this year, too, that are really incredible. Electronics and some moving functions, and a little too early to show it yet, but some really cool stuff. So we're going to be doing more from the Halo universe. Is there any update on the Simpsons stuff you guys have been doing?
Well, Series 4 just hit retail, so we've got that on display here with Aerosmith and Weird Al Yankovic, and Weird Al has been tweeting and Facebooking about his figure, which, thanks, Al, it's awesome. Whoever thought when I was listening to Eat It and all this stuff that I'd make a Weird Al toy all these years later, and he loves it. He said something like, I've always wanted to be a choking hazard. And it's like typical Al. It's great, And then we got Series 5, which is here, but we're waiting for a press release to go out. We don't control that announcement. It goes through Fox, so Fox, hopefully at some point during Toy Fair, the clock is ticking, will announce what Series 5 is, but they are done, and the line continues, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there as well. It's been a really fun line because it's so diverse. You got Buzz Aldrin, Kid Rock, James Brown, Hugh Hefner, Penn and Teller.
I never thought I could walk into Toys R Us and find Trippin' Balls Mr. Burns. That's amazing.
No, I know. I wish I had Mulder and Scully to go with it. That's something I want to do. But yeah, the glowing Burns is crazy. That's one of the most valuable ones. For us, it was doing the celebrities, and then they were like, well, we want some core characters in the mix that correspond to some of these episodes. We're like, all right. So we did the Burns, and that thing is by far the most popular of the regular core, family or any of the core characters. It's crazy, and it's cool that people who are into this line are people who bought World of Springfield, and I was one of them, or a guy I'll give a shout out to Michael Crawford, who's a big World of Simpsons, World of Springfield fan. They get what we were doing because it was everything's been done. Our approach was, let's do something that Playmates didn't do, get all these celebrities, and do them in that same format and scale. Because if someone's got 200 Playmates figures, they can build on that universe now.
I also was all in, so I do appreciate that.
It's when I see people posting pictures of Deep Space Homer from the Playmates line from 10 plus years ago with Buzz Aldrin, it's it's come full circle. Right. Now you've got the astronaut thing, and you've got all these connections, and really building that universe and expanding upon what they did and having stuff that they just didn't have the wherewithal to do at the time.
Right.
But our program was all about 25 years, 25 greatest guest stars, and it was the right way to do it. And it was really cool. So 5th series should be announced real soon. I wish I could tell you what was in there, but Matt Groening might kill me or something, so I just can't do that.
Is there any chance of it continuing past Series 5 though?
I would love to. That Series 5 will close out the 25 greatest guest stars. There's a lot of other stuff we would like to do. We'd like to go into some other IPs like X-Files, like Dr. Zaius, like Alien and Predator, who appeared in one of the Bi-Fi, Sci-Fi Con, whatever. It's all up to Gracie and Fox to see what we can do from there. I want to do more, but we got to do really cool, different stuff like that. So we'll see.
All right. So what else are there? There's a giant Eddie head over there. What's going on with that? That's no surprise knowing you, but it's still something majestic and impressive.
It is. Majestic's a nice word. So Powerslave is 30th anniversary was last year, and we did a mask. Looking at the mold for that mask, decided to do a whole bust with an Egyptian base and everything, recreating that album cover, which is one of the best Maiden albums of all time. So we're putting that out as a full-size resin bust. It's limited to about 800 pieces worldwide. And we're also doing a couple new Eddie action figures. We have a Peace of Mind Eddie here and 2 Minutes to Midnight. And yeah, like those of you who know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm a metalhead through and through. I love Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Merciful Fate, and so the classic metal stuff is where it's at for me. So working on Maiden stuff is like 12-year-old me is just all the time when it comes to that. So it's cool.
And tell us, you got some Little Big Planet stuff over there. Me and my lovely bride are Little Big Planet players. So what's going on with Sackboy?
Well, Sackboy's been done a couple times, and Mezco's done some stuff. There's been some stuff overseas, but when we wanted to do it, we wanted to do something a little different. Aside from doing our own sculpts and our version of it, we wanted to get some of the other IPs that you could have Sackboy in. So starting out, we got some of the Sony brands. So in each series, you'll get a couple Sackboys, but then you get like Sackboy as Kratos from God of War. The following series, maybe Sackboy as Nathan Drake from Uncharted, Killzone. So mixing it up, and then hopefully, as it grows, we'll be able to maybe work with the Capcoms or Konamis to do some of those other costume packs, whether it's Street Fighter or Metal Gear or something, just to keep it fresh and have a different. So if you're not I like LBP, and I've played it too, but there's people who might not be LBP fans that are Kratos fans that are going to buy the Kratos, and same with Uncharted and so on. So I think it's fun, and it's good for us to diversify. We want to have some cute family-friendly stuff. Our lines are awesome, but they're a little bit edgier. I got a 5-year-old little girl. I'd like to bring some stuff home that she could play with here and there, And with LBP, I can bring it home, and she doesn't know Sackboy from Sonic, but I bring it home and she, Daddy, this is cute, and his face is so cool, and she's playing with him, and that's cool because we have the Mogwais, and now we got the Sackboy. We got something that's a little bit all ages and family appropriate.
I mean, do you think you could go so far? They've done like Muppets costumes, they've done Watchmen costumes. You think you could delve that deep, or?
It all depends on how some of these other licensors are. Are they willing to cooperate? Muppets is with Disney now, will they let us do it, and is it going to be like another full royalty on top of the Sony royalty? And all that stuff gets complicated. Right now we're doing just Sony brands, which is a little easier because LBP is Sony, and then they own God of War and Uncharted and Killzone. But we are looking at other opportunities and options to, because I want to keep something like that in every series. And I love the Kratos. I got that one on my desk at work. I think it's so cool. So.
All right, well that's a lot of stuff.
It is.
And that's, like he said, that's just the first half of the year. That's just through June, and you're already killing me. I'm hoping we will see. I'm loving the video game things. It seems like that was just something you had like a crazy idea for the first one, and then it's grown into a whole line now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was a one-off for San Diego, 2013, the Jason. It blew up way beyond expectations. It was probably the hottest exclusive that year, period, and certainly one of the best we've ever had. And now we're about 12 figures in. It's a whole separate line. And there's guys like Pixel Dan that, do these incredible reviews with the music and the 8-bit, and he has them all lined up, and it's become like a collection. There's some people who didn't collect our figures before that are just buying those because of the game nostalgia tie-in and the way the packaging's handled. At the show we've got an Alien, a Predator 2, we got a Gremlin, which we didn't have before, and we have an 8-bit Godzilla. So we have a bunch of new ones here, and I have a few more done beyond that we'll show you guys come San Diego.
All right. Well, that's an awful lot of stuff. We're going to have a look at the whole booth. Thank you very much, Randy. Totally appreciate it.
Anytime.
And we'll have lots more Toy Fair coverage here on Action Figure Insider. Don't forget to subscribe.